Philip Rastelli, the unseen hand of the Bonanno crime family. Philip Rastelli was not the typical mafia boss. Unlike the more flamboyant and public figures in the New York underworld, Rastelli preferred to operate from the shadows. Born in Brooklyn in 1918, he grew up in a neighborhood steeped in the traditions of Cosa Nostra, where loyalty and silence were paramount virtues. Rastelli's ascent through the ranks of the Bonanno crime family was marked by his meticulous nature and business acumen. He wasn't just a street thug, he was a strategist, someone who saw the broader picture and understood the importance of diversifying the family's operations. By the 1960s, Rastelli was firmly entrenched in the upper echelons of the family, running a profitable loan sharking and extortion racket based in Queens. His quiet rise to power became even more significant after the infamous Bonanno War of the 1960s, a bloody conflict that saw the Bonanno family split into factions after their original boss, Joseph Bonanno, was ousted. Rastelli, ever the opportunist, bided his time, waiting for the internal strife to settle. When the dust finally cleared, he emerged as the de facto leader of the Bonanno family, albeit from behind the scenes. Rastelli's leadership was unique for its time. He wasn't the kind of boss who flaunted his wealth or power. Instead, he managed the family's operations from a modest butcher shop in Queens, using payphones to communicate with his underlings, and rarely meeting them in person. This low-key approach made it difficult for law enforcement to gather concrete evidence against him. However, his control over the family wasn't without challenges. In the late 1970s, one of his underbosses, Carmine the Cigar Galanti, returned from prison and began making moves to seize power. Galanti's ambition led to his assassination in 1979, a hit that was rumored to have been sanctioned by the Commission, a governing body of the mafia families, which included Rastelli. With Galanti out of the way, Rastelli's position was solidified. But his reign was far from secure. The FBI, which had been steadily ramping up its efforts to dismantle organized crime, had Rastelli in its crosshairs. Using wiretaps, surveillance, and informants, they began to piece together the operations of the Bonanno family and Rastelli's role as the mastermind. In 1985, after years of investigation, the law finally caught up with Rastelli. He was indicted under the RICO, Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, a powerful legal tool that allowed prosecutors to go after the leaders of criminal organizations by holding them responsible for the crimes committed by their subordinates. The charges against Rastelli included extortion, loan sharking, and conspiracy to commit murder. During the trial, Rastelli maintained his calm demeanor, even as former associates turned against him, testifying about the inner workings of the family. The evidence was overwhelming, and after a lengthy trial, Rastelli was convicted on multiple charges. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison. In prison, Rastelli remained the official boss of the Bonanno family, but his power was severely diminished. His health began to decline, and he spent much of his sentence in medical facilities. Despite his reduced influence, he remained a respected figure within the mafia until his death in 1991. Philip Rastelli's story is one of calculated ambition and quiet control. Unlike the more notorious mob bosses of his era, Rastelli preferred to stay out of the limelight, which made him a formidable and enigmatic leader. However, in the end, his meticulous nature could not shield him from the relentless pursuit of justice, leading to his downfall and the eventual decline of the Bonanno family's power. The end. Thanks for tuning into Sika True Crime Docs. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more captivating tales. Your support helps us keep bringing these stories to life. See you in the next episode.